We're going to begin with an overview of Android. As many of you probably already know, Android is an operating system that's used on mobile devices. It's an open source operating system and is maintained by Google in conjunction with the Open Handset Alliance. Well, that Open Handset Alliance, this is a group of companies that have an interest in the advancement of Android. The alliance includes mobile operators like T-Mobile and Sprint. It includes handset manufacturers like Samsung and Motorola. Semiconductor companies like NVIDIA, Texas Instruments, Qualcomm. Software companies like Google and many others. Well, Android is an open platform. It's open in that it's open source, so the source code is available for you to see, to download, and the software stack is available under the Apache 2 software license. So you can always go out to source.android.com and use that location to go and download the source code if you wanted to. As I mentioned, the licensing is Apache version 2, license version 2. And so that means for you is that you don't have to pay extra to use Android, nor do you have to pay to develop for it. Although there is a $25 registration fee to set up an account in the Google Play Marketplace. So when you go about wanting to sell your application and you put it out on Google Play, you do have to pay that one-time fee. It says the idea behind this is to kind of cut down on the spammers. Okay, well, Android is more than just an operating system. It's more of like a mobile platform. It ships with applications, these core applications that you'd expect to find on a mobile device. So applications like a browser, a contact list, the phone, the camera, things like that. Well, Android also allows you to install additional applications, even those that replace one of those core applications that ship with Android. You can, for example, install a different browser. Maybe if you don't like the one that came with a device, you want to install a different one, that's fine. Android doesn't restrict you in that way. Well, one of the coolest things about Android is the fact that your apps can integrate with other applications, whether those be the core applications or maybe third-party applications that you've installed on your system. This allows you to not have to reinvent the wheel. So, for example, you may have an app that you need to have an image taken. Well, you don't need to write your own image capturing software. You can use the camera that's coming from or coming with Android. Or maybe you have an app that you need to use to go do some barcode reading with, scanning some barcodes. Perhaps it's an application where maybe for a food item you can get nutritional information. Well, you don't need to write your own barcode scanning application. Maybe you could use a third-party app that's been installed by the user and integrate that in with your app. So the example that's given here, maybe you have a share button in your application. When somebody clicks on that, what happens is they're given a choice as to how to share that data. Maybe they want to share it via email or via Facebook or Twitter or a text message. Who knows? But the choice goes to the user as to how that extra sharing should occur, how that integration will happen. What we do as an application is we say that we intend to share. And so that's a word that we're going to use a lot, a word that Google uses with Android. They call these things intents. I intend to do something. And so if I'm intending to share, maybe that gives the user the option of choosing how to share something. Or I intend to take a picture, then we'll use the camera. I intend to open up a URL. Perhaps the user's given a pop-up to ask them which browser they want to open that URL in. So Android is really all about this loose coupling, about not reinventing the wheel. You don't need to write your applications where you write your own camera, write your own barcode scanner, write your own sharing software. No. You're going to integrate those in from someone else. And this is really awesome. Anyhow, the other thing that's mentioned here is that every time there's a major Android update, we see that the next name comes out as something named after a dessert. And the first letter of that dessert changes, it increments with each release. This all got started back with the Cupcake release, which was version 1.5. But as you can see, donut, gingerbread, ice cream sandwich, and currently, at least as of the time of this recording, we're on Jelly Bean. This course is current to Jelly Bean. Well, yes, there are all these different releases of Android, and one of the things you're going to need to be careful of when you write your applications is they should support that earliest version possible. The reality is that people's cell phones or their devices, maybe it's tablets, might be running on older releases. They may not have the latest and greatest Android on them. So right now, as I record this, Gingerbread is still a major player. There's a lot of devices still in use that are running that release, API level 9 or version 2.3. Lots of ways to talk about this. Well, you need to write your applications so that they can work with the most devices possible. And so there's going to be a way, as we'll see, to declare via what's called a manifest what your minimum requirements are for an API. You can also specify the target API too, who you are intending to work towards as well.